The NFL has relaxed some restrictions on Tom Brady's broadcasting after he was brought into the Raiders. He can now attend production meetings, but still can't go to practices. Obviously, you guys are both in the media. Rich, number one broadcast team with ESPN. You're in studio, Channing, as well as Perk. So, from all of those perspectives, taking this into account, should ownership stakes limit how broadcasters do their jobs?
Yes.
Yes.
Especially the most competitive human being maybe on earth. You think he's not? Listen.
Well, between Deflategate, between
Oh,
all
you said it.
between,
You said
yeah,
it.
between Deflategate, between all of the videotaping, all of that stuff, and I'm not
Any
saying he was in
advantage.
on it, but any advantage, but this is what I would say: he is an owner. For him to sit in and hear strategy of his own team, that is 100% normal. That is 100% okay. That's like the owner sitting in on a practice. Let's make no mistake. It's not like he was listening to the headset of an opposing team, right? He was listening to the headset of the team in which he owned, right? So like he's also Tom Brady, so he knows what schemes they're running. He knows where guys should be. He knows. So it's like it's not like he's getting crazy insight from the information. This is his team. He's allowed to do it. They're saying is he listening to that so that when he goes and talks to other teams, he can give insight back to his team. That is purely an integrity thing that they can't judge and they can't know. Like they don't know. And coaches are guarded. As a person that's doing interviews with the coaches during the NBA finals, they're guarded with the information that they tell you anyways. Especially if they believe that there's someone as a connection. So a coach would be silly. Now, is there an opportunity for access? Is there an opportunity? Yes. But ultimately, I can see how they're like, he's not doing anything wrong. He could listen to the head. Jerry Jones could listen to the headset of his own team if he wanted to. So there's nothing wrong there. But it's like, is he going to gain an information? Well, he's already had access to that information last season, you know? So it's like him being on the headset, the access to the information has been there for the last year, 2 years that he's done it. Him getting on the headset doesn't change the fact that he's already had that access.
How much, because Channing even said this when you stepped off camera for a second with our last conversation, how much is really revealed in those meetings, Rich?
A tremendous amount. A tremendous
Football
amount.
is very different than basketball.
A tremendous amount. And it's also based off the questions that you ask. Doris, JJ, two of the best at asking questions and predicting. Like Doris predicted the change of lineup in game one and asked Coach Dagnall about it. And he's like, "Oh yeah, we're looking at different things, and there's different options." Because Doris is like, she called out. She did it 2 or 3 different times during the finals, and then all of a sudden we get out there and it's like OKC has changed their starting lineup, and we were like, "Oh wow!" He was like, "You called it." So the information that's given and how it's like they're guarded with their information, but they do give out information, right? And they tell us, and let me just say this, in every meeting there's stuff that, hey, this is obviously not for air, but that happens in every single meeting.
Every meeting. It's to
Every
give you
single meeting
context about
they
certain
will tell us, and I'm just giving people context of what is said. Now what they choose to say, it could be about a player's health, it could be about a player's mindset, it could be about a trade, or it could be about a bunch of things. In every single meeting we go into, they say, hey, this isn't for air, but. So they're giving us context and information. So I can't say it on air, but when I'm talking about a situation, I have a deeper context than the people at home. So like they're always telling you stuff you can't say on air. That's just part of like being able to at least give us information and have a real conversation.
a real situation is like somebody are they going to play or not? But then you see them not running around in practice. They're not dressed. They don't have anything on. They're icing their leg during shoot around. they may not say, hey, we don't know, but we'll say, this is what we saw at shoot around during the whole shoot around if you have access. So when you're doing it, you could also say, if he can't play, this guy has to step up and do this. But we don't say, oh, at practice we saw him in a boot. Like we wouldn't say that. It would be more, hey, this guy needs to be ready if he's not 100%. That's a real life. So like Tom Brady may get access to that before the game and say, yo, these are what these teams are supposedly running, or this guy, I get the starting lineup before everyone else does. Just
Well, and it's also, if I'm talking to a coach, if I'm an owner, and he's like, there's a 5th round pick on their team that's playing well, and the coach is like, man, we love this guy. This guy's first in the gym. This guy's this. He just has such a positive effect on the locker room. Tom now knows this information for the Raiders. So when they're looking at free agents, who to go get, they've heard coaches talk really well about this guy before. Oh, you know what I'm saying? That's the insider information that, like, in like an intimate way, right? And so, but I would say it from a standpoint, this is the best way I could say it. We've talked to coaches, and there have been players in contract disputes or this or that, or about to be a free agent. And we would ask the coach, hey, do you think it's affecting him? And coach could say, hey, this isn't for air, but yeah, I think it's really affected him. It's taken him a while to get comfortable here. And, obviously this is a different role and we're trying to work on it. Right. So now he's telling me that that's not for air. I know that the coach believes the contract is bothering him. And so now when I go speak on air, I have this context, and I'm not saying it from a factual space. I'll say it from a space of, hey, contracts can be tough.
You're humanizing him.
You're humanizing. So contracts can be tough. Every player's been through it. I wouldn't be surprised if this was affecting him a little bit. He's got to move through this, right? So you're saying and giving context. That's why that information in those meetings are so valuable.